All right, we are live. Tapping Birdie, Shriners Open, joined by my good friend PGA tout John Hausbauer. How you doing tonight, man? How's the swing season treating you?
It's been not too bad. I'm 0 for 2 on winners, but I feel like I've gotten some sweats in the mix, which is enough. And I don't know. I think it's been like some pretty entertaining fall swing events. I've actually with by the time like Sunday comes, I'm like probably a little bit more invested in football
Yeah,
than the golf, but I'm invested enough to still be double screening it.
yeah, no. I mean, honestly, I gotta say, like last week, if you listen to TIB, you knew I was kind of down on the swing season. Like, I don't really want to be doing this. I'm just here so I won't get fined type of vibe. And then it's like last week, it's like, all right, like we got some winning bets going, like we got some guys in the mix, like we're NFL Sunday, like we're double screening it. I got that layout in my den, and I'm like watching the Sandy F, and I'm like, this is like fun. Like I'm enjoying this. Like I miss this. Like even if Scott Stallings wasn't like ever going to win the tournament, like I still had invested interest in who was going to win, whether it was Sepp Straka or Grillo or Mackenzie Hughes. Like I think the PGA Tour is kind of back. Like I think it kind of like took a step back for a little bit, but like the PGA Tour is fully back. The Sanderson Farm saved the PGA Tour, and I'm a swing season guy now. Like we're hitting winners, we're finding value, we're making plus EV bets. Like let's go, like let's ride. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, and I think an important thing that we should touch on is the President's Cup snub narrative because that's one that we really need to monitor for the entire season. And something that I look forward to noting anytime a non-European plays well the rest of this season,
And no, I
that
think
it's
it's I
because of
think
this
it's
chip on the shoulder.
it's it's legitimately anyone that wasn't on a President's Cup or Ryder Cup team. Like if they weren't on the team and they win, it's because they were motivated because they weren't on the team. Like that's just how it's gonna go. Whoever wins like the PGA Championship or like the Charles Schwab, like there's no timeline on it. It's truly just if you were not picked for a team, whether you didn't deserve it or deserved it or not, you're using that as motivation, and that's going to get you across the finish line. So I know I constructed my betting card this week. I only bet guys that were snubbed from the team that could have been on it, international, some Americans. So we're going to ride out this trend because it's hitting at 100% rate post President's Cup this year. So everyone kind of likes those percentages. So I think we need to ride the hot hand here and just play the snubs.
Yeah, it was also interesting that when Max Homa won the Fortinet, a lot of people, myself included, were like, fade, look ahead week. He's too focused on President's Cup. He doesn't care. And he said in his interview afterwards that he was motivated by like the live bots who were like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have been on that team if it wasn't for live. And he
Yeah.
used that as motivation, which is crazy because like he would have been on that team regardless. Like with
Yeah.
Dustin Johnson would have been on the team. That's probably it from live. But it's interesting where people get their motivation from. And now I kind of feel like I should be chirping the guys that I bet so that I can give them motivation so that they can say this guy on Twitter didn't believe I could do it.
Yeah, because it could truly go both ways. Like you can be motivated because you were on the President's Cup and you showed like how good you could be and you want to make the next team, or you could be snubbed and want to win. So it's really a lose-lose. I mean, a win-win situation. You could legitimately kind of push it however you want. But I enjoyed it. I never in a million years would have bet Mackenzie Hughes to win the Sanderson Farms. That was never a bet I was going to make. He's been god awful. He had one good start. Sometimes that's all that takes. And I was kind of kicking myself for not bet. Obviously, everyone's on the radar, so you can be upset about everything. But I was kind of upset I didn't even at least like consider Sepp Straka, like Bermuda course in the South playing really well. Like I bet guys because they had a good end to the season, like Sepp Straka had a really good end to his season. That was kind of an easy bet. And then I'm watching, we're vibing, we're up on football. I'm like texting Adam, shout out Adam, lost me a bunch of money. It's fine. But I'm like, and he's like, yo, like if Sep gets into this playoff, like we're hammering Sep. And I'm like up on football. I had a good golf betting week. And I'm like, yeah, fucking Sep's gonna beat like Mackenzie Hughes. Like it's Mackenzie Hughes. Like Sep is a generational player. He's gonna be a stalwart at the 2024 Ryder Cup. Like Sep is dominant. Like Sep is good. Minus 120. I'm like, okay, like we're hammering Sep. Sep did not win, so I gave out a lot of my golf winnings back. And that's called being a greedy gambler. That's called having a little bit of a gambling problem. That's being like, I think we're kind of spoiled by golf outrights because, like, if I go up like to like 200, 400, like, I'm not like, okay, like, this is sick. Like, I'm like, all right, like, whatever. Like, I'm probably just going to gamble it away. But, like, hitting golf outrights, you're so used to that big payout that like when you go up a little bit, you're like, all right, I'll just bet it all and try and double it. And then you lose. And then you're like, all right, like that was kind of dumb.
Yeah, betting a lot of money on the fall swing is always a bad idea, but
yeah.
Sometimes it's a heat check moment. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not on a heat check because I haven't hit a winner since JT Poston, which is way too long ago. And there's so many sweats that have happened in between. But I've kept my losses down, which is kind of a win. And it's like a joke, Sepp Straka for Ryder Cup, but I actually do think like he's on the team now.
He has to be on the like. It's not even a question, and I think that he hasn't been playing on the DP World Tour. Like he's not really a part of that crew. Like I was kind of on Eurogolf Twitter, and they're like, "Yo, like I don't know if Sepp's like," but like Sepp Straka, like over like the Hogard twins. Like Bobby Mack will make the team, but like I'll take him over Bobby Mack. Like Sep is like a straight up killer. And like he's someone he doesn't give a fuck. He's going at every single pin. Like he doesn't care if he makes a double or an eagle on a hole. Sep needs to be on the European Ryder Cup team. It's like not even really a question for me. I love Sep. He's gonna have a big year. He's winning RSM or Congaree. So I'll be on those for those two. So just kind of watch out for those. But yeah, Sepp Straka, absolutely brilliant player.
Sepp is 26 in the world. He's ahead of Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah.
Like go sleep on Sepp.
Yeah. I think that I've seen a lot of people on Twitter, a lot of people, you know how this goes, like saying Sepp like doesn't even deserve to be on the PGA Tour. And I just kind of take offense to that because like seeing so many people say that, it's like, yo, like Sepp is, a generational talent. And he does not usually win in playoffs. He's kind of tough in the playoff situation, but it's fine. Like we'll be okay. But yeah, Sepp, looking forward to seeing him in Rome, and hopefully at Bethpage in our backyard in 2025 at Bethpage.
Yeah, I mean it's not a heater. Like he's here to stay. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I am. So let's get into the Shriney Field. Let's get into Shriners this week. Sanjay M, your past champion. Patrick Cantley dominant here. Kevin Na, course. Martin Laird won 10 years apart. Maybe that's a trend. You kind of want to look at guys that won here 10 years ago. That's something to look at. Birdie Fest, a lot of wedges. Just get a hot putter. I mean, I've never heard that before, but it could be good to get a hot putter this week at the Shriners.
That's a bold take.
Well,
but
that's what you
type of analysis you could only get on Tap and Birdie.
Yes, exactly.
And to the 10-year narrative thing, Scott Stallings won.
Yeah.
What was last week? The
Sanderson.
He won that 10 years ago. So that almost was a nice little trend that I wasn't like in hindsight. I chased it without realizing it. But I'm just looking up who won the year after Larry. Jonathan Bird.
I don't think he's in the field.
Actually, Ryan Moore won in 2012.
Okay, he's in the field?
He's in the field.
Okay, so that's just something to monitor. That's just something to be aware of, because things could happen. Like this could be an all-time trend event. But, overall for the listeners, like, what type of guys are you betting this week? Like, who are you looking for? Like, are you just looking for good wedge players? Like, guys that are riding hot form? Like, what's kind of your vibe this week? What are the questions you're asking your golfers?
Yeah. Have you
Oh,
ever
Judge hit 62.
Model Maniac, thank you for
Let's
that. That is
go.
such a relief.
I mean,
Are you a
as a
Yankee fan?
as a lifelong Yankee fan, like, I'm a diehard Yankee fan. Like, it's just great to like see them play well. Like, I've been following them all year, and like now that like the playoffs are here, like it really separates like the real fans from the fake fans, and I'm a real fan, so that's just what I want to say.
That is such a relief. That was like, I felt bad for it. Like, he should have gotten a rest like a week ago, and they just wouldn't rest him until he hit this home run. So that makes me so happy. What I was gonna say is, have you ever golfed in the desert?
No, I honestly haven't. Straight up, we've never
Okay.
golfed really in the desert.
I love desert golf. I feel like my handicap would be half of what it is if I always played in the desert. Every time I've played in the desert, I've played fantastically. So I do think there are people who, if they've played well there, they just tend to always play well in desert conditions. The ball travels farther. You get a bigger ego. Your drive is like 20 yards farther than it normally is. Everything's firm. So if you hit fairways, it just keeps going. And there's no rough. So like, if you just miss the fairway, as long as you're not like slicing it into like a cactus, you're going to have an angle. There's no trees either. So you're just going to, like, as long as you keep the ball straight, you will have an angle at the green, and the greens are massive. So, and there's like not drastic undulations on the greens usually at desert courses. So it's pretty easy scoring. I'm looking at Stadium Course, PGA West, all three of those courses really. The Stadium Course has the strokes gain data. So I like that where the Amex was. That's also a Birdie Fest. I think that's a good comp. Love TPC Scottsdale, and Summit Club is not a great comp because that was actually like a Bombers course, and all the Bombers like rose to the top there. But that's just
Fazio. I mean, that's a whole nother.
Yeah, that's fine. We're not on Fazio this week, so throw it out the window, really. But if you're playing well in the desert, it's pretty repeatable. A lot like Martin Laird's won here twice, Kevin Na's won here twice, Jim Furyk's won here 3 times. Like, those guys are all pretty similar types of players, just good, accurate ball striker type of dude. So and the other thing is, guys who live in Las Vegas have been really good here. Scott Piercy's randomly great here.
Yeah.
Kevin Na, Alex Cheka, who's like on this PGA, like the senior tour. He's like been runner up like 3 times at this event. So the guys who live in Las Vegas and know the climate, know how to adjust for all the dry air and stuff, they always do really well here. So I know we're always chasing narratives, and sometimes
there's so stupid, many narratives,
but like the Vegas narrative is a really good one, and one that I did chase this week.
Let's do it. Like, I'm down. Like, we're hitting a winner this week, me and you. I don't know if anyone's on the shared card. I also didn't text you and ask who your outrights were. So, just kind of weave them through, like, just because I think I kind of have an idea. We're boys. Like, we text. Like, we're friends. But yeah, top of the board this week. I'll put these 3 players into their own category: Cantlay, Sungjae, and Homa. No one's betting Cantlay. He's going to be the highest zone. He's going to be like 30%. Impeccable course history. Obviously going to play well. Nothing crazy. I'm not having any exposure to him. I'm not playing him in DraftKings. Nothing like that. Sungjae M, winner here last year. I think that was a win that was a lot more obvious in hindsight, and literally no one bet him. Last year, I know I was pretty upset about that, but I vividly remember like literally no one being on Sungjae at this event. And then we have Max Homa, who's kind of, vaulted himself into this elite tier. He's kind of like going from someone that could be, 50 or 60 to 1 in a regular season event to now, being one of the favorites. Obviously, everyone loves him on Twitter. We haven't done kind of the mortgage play whale bomb in a while. That kind of drifted away. And we both have mortgage play whale bombs this week, like completely unrelated. Like, we both just came together, and they both involve Sungjae Im. So I know you couldn't get there on an outright number, but you do have a max play whale bomb involving Sungjae Im this week that I'll be tailing. I'll be on. So let's hear it.
Yeah, as we were just saying at the top of the show, this fall swing is when you want to put all of your money into one thing in golf.
Yeah.
So it's a great time to bring back the max play whale bomb mortgage play. It's without a doubt, and this number is on Bet365 if you have it. Minus 120, Sungjae Im top 20. It's a perfect bet. If you look at his form leading in, he has 5 consecutive top 20s. He looked fantastic in the President's Cup. I know he didn't win all of his matches, but he played tight in all of them. And he has played this event 3 times. Obviously, one last year, has never finished worse than T15. So he's never finished outside the top 20 at this event. He's always been in the top 20 for the last 2 months. And this field is not tremendously deep. So he doesn't have to bring his A game to finish in the top 20. And we talked about desert golf. He plays well in other desert conditions. He's going to be there. He's got a very repeatable game. He putts really well. The ball's been on a string for him off the tee and approach. So I just don't really see how things could go wrong for Sungjae to have a horrible outing. So if you want a spot for there to be a max play whale bomb, it's got to be course history, recent form, field sucks. And that's what we have.
Yeah, I love it. I really do think it's a slam dunk play. I was tweeting during the President's Cup, how does Sungjae not have more wins on tour? He's too talented in my eyes to only have 2 PGA Tour victories. And I do think that he does have, I'm not going to go on here every week and say one of the favorites has a good chance to win, but I really do think Sungjae Im is a great chance to win this tournament, playing unbelievable golf. He had those back-to-back runner-ups at the Wyndham and either the Rocket or the 3M, and then goes to the Tour Championship and is second on the Shadow leaderboard and second in the overall event. Great at the President's Cup. He's going to an event he won. It's a perfect event for him. Just make a bunch of birdies. Sungjae Im's going to play well this week. He is minus 130. It's not on any legal books, but it's on my local. It should be a matchup that is on your local. I really like Sungjae Im minus 130 over Max Homa this week. I just think it is an absolute great play for all the reasons we laid out. With the field strength, with how he's played here, just with the form he's riding, I really like Sungjae this week. And I'm not picking on Max Homa. I think he's a very talented player. I just don't think he is quite the same caliber player at this course right now than Sungjae Im. I think they're both great plays. I think the top 20 is a little bit safer because Max Homa could have a great week. If you want to nitpick Max, he doesn't have good course history here. I think he has 4 missed cuts. Again, I don't think that, he's going to miss the cut this week, but I just think there's a gap between them. And I think on DraftKings, I don't know why Max Homa is more expensive than Sungjae Im. He shouldn't be. And I think that will garner a lot of ownership to Sungjae because a lot of people will think exactly what I did. But just in DraftKings, I wrote it up in my article. But I really like Sungjae in DraftKings. I'll be starting on my lineups with him. I'll have a lot of money invested in him over Max Homa and a lot of money on top 20. So that's what we like at, the top of the board. We kind of started the show with this. We kind of, put this out there. But it's a President's Cup snub week. And Aaron Wise is probably the 13th man, and I think he's ready to go. He's a Vegas guy, has good course history, and you're betting him outright this week. So tell me what you like about A Wise.
Aaron Wise, we have the President's Cup snub narrative.
Yep.
Biggest snub in this field, probably, right?
I would say.
Yeah. And this is his first start since being snubbed because he wasn't in the field last week. So that is allowed to carry over. Vegas narrative, lives in Vegas resident. Great course history narrative. Very important here. Sticky course history. If you played well here before, you can do it again. Has actually putted well here more often than not. And he's typically been awful. So now that he's actually a good putter, coming back to a place where he's putted well before, I like that. They did overhaul the greens, but apparently the sloping is all exactly the same, and they just put different grass over it. So I'm not reading too much into that. And his finishes, I think it's just like all top 20s over the last
Yeah.
like 2 months, and he's contended in big fields. So ever since he switched to the broomstick, I feel like he's been like this very nervy dude who can't close. But I think the broomstick putter kind of takes nerves out of the putting. And it's not like he's like, when he gets nervous, it's not like he's like over the tee and like slicing it out of bounds. Like
Yeah.
he's been getting nervous like on the greens and three putting when he shouldn't. So he's a good player. It's really gross to be betting Aaron
Yeah.
Wise like 25 to 1. But I think the last year of golf has shown us that like when a number is gross,
Yeah.
that usually pays off more often than not. Like just if you can fit it on the card, just bite the bullet and do it.
Yeah, no, I really don't hate it at all. Another reason to bet him, Aaron Wise, this week is that he's kind of a swing season guy. Had a really good swing season last year. Like he likes to get it going in the swing season when the lights aren't brightest. I just worry about him, classic, just making enough birdies, but it's fine play. I love it. I hope you guys win. The group chat's on him. I'm not. But, it's fine. I just couldn't get there, It just, my model wasn't, my model more had him at like 28 to 1. So it was just kind of tough for me to pull the trigger there. But yeah, we're betting, nothing new here, TIB. We're betting the most tip player this week. We're betting Tom Kim, was kind of, doing a little Sunday night research after I was crying in the shower. And, I was just like, look, accurate driver of the ball, great with his wedges, can make a lot of birdies. It was more so like it was more so just like, okay, I thought he would be 22 to 1 and I got a 30 to 1 on DraftKings as soon as it opened. And I was like, okay, I'm going to bet it. Like, that's it. That's the reasoning for the pick. I don't have this massive detailed analysis. The number was off and I bet it. So 30 to 1, I'll take it. Is he going to win twice in 5-6 starts? Probably not. Probably not. But, we bet losers every single week. That's kind of the whole thing about golf betting. But yeah, 30 to 1. I don't love a 22 or 25, but I do think that he could have an unbelievable season and it might start here. So why the hell not? Like, let's just do it.
Yeah. And I joined you on that one. And I think Tom Kim's a fun guy to lose money on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like easy for me to make that decision. I feel the same way with Sahith. Like if I'm betting him, like even if he's not even in contention, it's like fun to watch him implode out there. So like I'm just having a good time and I hope he wins. So I think a lot of people have a decision at 25 between Wise and Tom. I went with both because I couldn't make a decision, but they both make sense here.
Yeah, so let's just hopefully one of them will win. Someone I bet through you. I kind of just put that money out there. You bet it for me. I really appreciate it. 50 to 1 on Cam Davis. A lot of people are picking him this week. He's a popular pick this week, and I'll add to it. I have no problem adding my list to the people on him. Andy Sobel, Joe, a lot of other people. Like, yeah, let's do it. He's playing some great golf. Good wedge player. He can make a lot of birdies. He won on bent before. 50 to 1. Fine. Sure. Fine. Yeah. Like, that's it. That's the reasoning. I think 50 to 1 is a pretty good number on him. Again, we could do this both ways. Was on the President's Cup team, wants to be on it again, wants to prove to the world, like, he's the best Australian, Cam Smith is not. So, I think he's got something to play for this week, and 50 to 1's a pretty good number. So did you bet him?
I did not. Because what motivation, right? Like he was on the team. But I think what you are obligated to do that now that you've backed him is tweet at him. You shouldn't have been on the President's Cup team. It should have been Mackenzie Hughes. You wouldn't have been on if not for the live guys.
Yeah.
If you do that, he will win. Yeah. But you have to at him and you have to do it after the show.
That's fine. I honestly I think that's a pretty good take. And he was pretty good at the President's Cup. Bet him on Bentgrass. Like, that's fine. That's enough for me. D. Riley withdrew. That sucks. Miss him. So the guy, I think I probably have room to bet him. I might. I might bet him. I don't know if you are betting him. I like him top 10. I like him in DraftKings. I have kind of my worries about him winning outright. I just don't have a gut feeling that he's going to win twice in 1 year after not winning for many years on tour. I think he's someone that's a good course fit at a lot of different courses. He's showing form again. I don't know if he's quite there yet. I do think Tom Hoagie's a good play, though. I just don't think he's gonna win this event. I think that he'll have a good finish and he's a good DraftKings play, and he's a really good course fit, and he gained a bunch of strokes ball striking last week, and it's a lot of wedges, and that's exactly what he does at. But yeah, I think Hogan's a fine play. I don't think I will get there outright because at the end of the day, I just don't think I see him winning this event. So I hope those words don't come back to bite me. But President's Cup snub, it's a thing and it's here to stay. And if there's no other reason, then it's to bet him because he was a snub on the President's Cup.
That is true. One thing with Tom Hoagie, though, serial casino gambler
Stuff.
Major concern with him running loose in Vegas early into the season. He's already in the Century Tournament of Champions. Like, he doesn't need this win. He might have that P Cup motivation, but if he doesn't, he could be an early exit, get me onto the strip. I'm trying to have a good time in the fall.
Very fair point. You know, that's the thing about TIB is that you're not going to get one opinion. You're going to get multiple opinions. You're going to have people poke holes in arguments, and that's why people listen. You know, that is, you know, why every week my DMs are flooded with people just like, that was the best podcast I've ever listened to. You're so smart. You're so handsome. Like, you totally owned all those live people. Like, why doesn't it pay? Like, these are like DMs I get every single week. So like, it's just, this is what makes the show great. You know, we just have different opinions, and you know, we talk about things in a unique way. So appreciate all the listeners tonight. Because I don't know who's the next guy you're betting. Like, who's the next guy on your card?
Brian Harmon is the other guy.
Okay. That's
here.
Tough. That's tough.
Yeah, like, it doesn't feel good.
No,
like,
no,
it doesn't feel good at all. It feels terrible. But like a guy who can just like knock it straight down the fairway. I believe I was on him at the Amex and he finished
play well,
runner up, like one stroke back. He like had it. He had like a tap, like a 10-footer that would have put him in a playoff. He didn't hit it. But like on short courses, like, I don't know, he's playing well. He can hit it straight. He's not going to get into trouble. Was not on the President's Cup team. So there's enough in his favor, I think.
There's enough there. Like, there's enough to,
like, okay, not a fun enough dude to be distracted by Las Vegas. He's kind of old now.
I think he's been to Vegas a few times. So like, that's enough. Like,
yeah, that's the question that I'm asking.
Yeah.
Is it a business trip or is it a fall swing trip? For Brian Harmon, I think it's a business trip.
I'm looking on the lines right now. Everyone should go check that out. It's a great site that John works for, and they put out, you know, like comparable odds. So like, I always use the top 10s, top 20s, and BetMGM is like slanging some good numbers. I don't know if they're like up to date and valid, but I'm seeing some numbers that are kind of piquing my interest. So I'm gonna have to go make sure those are valid because these look pretty good. But lines, check it out, great tool. Everyone should see them. And I don't know if this is valid. I need to look, but it's saying that, I mean, even 66, but it's saying that Caesars has a 70-1 and FanDuel has a 66-1 on Mito. You know, I'm not a huge model guy, but when I was looking at the models and stuff, he obviously checks out, you know, 66-1. I know you're betting your guy this week. It's just a matter of if I do it. My question would be, I don't think he can get to -24.
Yeah, I don't really. It's not ideal for him, right? Because he's not going to light up. He's going to miss some putts that he should make. But with him, it's almost like a live snub narrative. Like, did he not get the bag that he wanted, and he's trying to get like the offer up by winning a tournament? because he should have been gone by now. It makes no sense why he's still on the PGA
He's
Tour.
probably just not
Neiman's
going.
gone.
Like, what is up for debate? He's probably just not going to live.
Like, I don't think he loves golf. I think he golfs to make money. And then,
Yeah.
like, I follow him on Instagram. He's always like renting exotic cars in Florida. He's not practicing that much. Like, I feel like he's a big lifestyle guy. He gave up on golf when he was like
Yeah.
in high school. He's like, I don't really want to do this. And then I think Joaquin was like, no, you're like good. You should do it again. So, like, he's boys with Joaquin, and he's pretty good friends with Answer and some of those other like Latin golfers. And he's the only one in that group that didn't go over there. And he like definitely had an offer and he didn't take it. So like I still feel like he's eventually gonna go to live. And I think he's just trying to like get out of this funk so that he can get his price back up, because he's been in a little bit like he's been pretty not remarkable for the last like 2 months. And that's why we're seeing like 70, 75 to 1 numbers on him. In any case, the model is fantastic with him. He was number 2 in mine. And if he
Who's
gets back to
one?
Sung Jae.
Okay.
And if he gets back to where he was, then he should play well here.
I just don't think he's going to live. Like, I just don't think he's going. But that's a whole nother kind of story for another day. But yeah, I'm not betting Mito. I don't think he can get to 24 under, so I'm not betting him. We got to make decisions. That's my decision. So yeah, no Mito for me, but you got to bet your guys. I don't really have any guys anymore, but it's fine. I killed Zalatoris. Louis went to live. Like, it's fine. Like, it's fine. I'm over it personally. Next guy I'm betting, I have again, we're not, I think he's going to miss a cut this week, but I really like Taylor Moore. Like, it's not really a play that like I would normally be on. Like, oh yeah, like I'm all over Taylor Moore this week. Like, I don't even fucking know this guy. However, I do think it's a good bet. Like, I do think it's a good top 20. I do think that, again, we're talking about it. His number, it's like, why is Taylor Moore 65 to 1? Like, what has he done? Who even is he? The average golf fan probably doesn't even know he exists. So I like that his odds are like low and he's not like a huge bomb, because I think that, Vegas knows, as they always do. But he's been on a run of some pretty good golf. The reason that I'm worried is that he's made his like last 8 cuts in a row, and like that just never really bodes well. But 6 at the Rocket Mortgage, 5th at the Wyndham, got to make a lot of birdies, made every cut at St. Jude and BMW, and then 36 at the Fortinet, 24th at the Sanderson Farms, game like 5 on approach. He's good on bent. Like, he's a bent guy, like we all have our surfaces. He's a bent guy. He gained 5.1 strokes putting at the BMW. You're a bent guy. Like, that's it. Like, that's all you need. Taylor Moore, bent guy, betting him 65 to 1, top 20 DraftKings. He's not going to be high owned. I love Taylor Moore this week, so I'm happy about that one. Feel good about it.
Okay, that's your guy.
He's always been my guy.
Trying to do some quick research of any other narratives to pull, and I couldn't really find anything. He's an Arkansas grad. I don't know how their football team's doing.
Area.
Like,
same kind of area.
Draw something. Yeah, Razorback, Pigs.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something there, but I don't think he's a popular play, so maybe he'll be your special guy.
No, like, I know he's gonna miss the cut, and another guy that is gonna miss the cut, I bet outright. Like, I don't give a fuck. I think I got like an 80, 90 to 1 on him. This is like it's too good to be true. This play is too good to be true. And it's not going to pan out how everyone envisions. I just want to let people know this. Matthew NeSmith. It is an absolute slam dunk play. Perfect course history. Great result last week. I don't know. Okay. First round leader at Waste Management, Desert Golf. Like, he's fucking like 80 to 1. Like, yeah, it just like a slam dunk play. I'm on it. Like, makes all the sense in the world. I worry that it just can't work out that way. It's just, sometimes it's that obvious with like guys at the top of the board, but like we're all not going to cash a 9 into 1 Matthew NeSmith. I hope we do, but I have a little bit of a concern.
Yeah, I totally agree. He's very popular. He's on a lot of cards. I really thought I was going to bet him, and I ended up not betting him, which makes me very nervous that I don't have him. Everybody else does, but at the same time, he's Matthew Neesmith, and I shouldn't be this nervous that I didn't bet him. But
FRL,
he makes
like
a lot of
first
sense.
round leader,
I
right?
might get him on first round leader. I'm
No,
actually looking
no,
up.
come on. He's on the fucking first round leader card.
He should be, yeah.
No, he's on it. Like it's not like Matthew Neesmith first round leader. Like that's a play. Like he was first round leader in the desert already.
All right, we can get 70-1 on DraftKings. It's not that bad.
Do you have any other kind of guys in this range that you're betting? Any quote unquote bombs, like any longer shot guys you like this week?
Cooch, Spotlight Cooch. Strokes gained old. Like I feel like you have to be old to play well here. He finished second here in 2004, I think, when it was the Justin Timberlake Shriners Open. That's his best finish here. 5 straight made cuts at the Shriners. Putts well, putting contest, doesn't have to hit it far. Fits that sort of profile. Looked good in his first start. I think at Fortnite, he was like T12. So I think that's a good number. I got a 90 on him.
Boom.
I'm happy with that. I also, other bombs, Ches Reavie, like awful course history.
You were kind of in the group chat, like, how the fuck does Ches not have a top 40 here?
It's actually insane. He's played this event 11 times and finished top 40 once. Makes no sense. Like plays well at Phoenix Open, plays well pretty much anywhere that's under 7,200 yards. He's in the mix, and now he's coming off of a win within his last like 5 starts. Number 1 in the field strokes gained approach, and he's 250-1. Like I don't get it, and eventually that trend has to stop. So I'm betting Ches Reavie.
Love it. Like love the play. Things flip. Remember JT posting at John Deere 4 missed cuts, goes out and wins. Like these things can flip on a dime. So I think you should go for it if that's what your heart desires. Someone I bet at 80-1, you can't bet him at 80-1 because that number is gone, and it's called being sharp and finding the bottom line, and like that's just kind of what we do here on TIB. It's called CLV. You can't lose because either you won on the CLV or the bet hits. But 2 guys actually, but. First guy, KH Lee, 80-1. Like, yeah, like I'm gonna bet that. Like, I'm gonna bet it. He's a better ball striker than Will Zalatoris. Like, everyone knows this. Like, that is a thing. Like, are we sure KH Lee's not better than Will Zalatoris? That's a question. Like, that's something like that. People are talking about it. Like, people are talking about it. I'm joking. It's a joke. It's an inside joke.
Look at the number of President's Cup teams the 2 guys have made over the last few years.
It's just right in front of you, but it's just like, no, in all honesty, I'll bet KH on any TPC course at 80-1. Like, that's just like an easy bet. And it's not even like, oh, he's been doggy doo-doo. Pretty good at the BMW Championship. I recall top 5 there. Ever heard of bent grass greens? Okay, KH Lee, bent grass guy. Yeah, KH Lee 80-1, top 6 each way. Like, yeah, I'm down. Like, that's an easy one. Bet him on TPC courses. I worry, like, a real concern I have is like him winning on a course that's like not the Byron Nelson. But these are things we kind of have to overcome. Like, this is kind of what we have to do. Someone I bet early, I believe I got a 9. Yeah, I got a 90-1 on this guy. Popular. People are betting him. It's a great bet. It's a good number. Kurt Kitayama, the microwave man, miscut or top 5. We get the same payout whether it finishes second or miscut. Kurt Kitayama 90-1. Playing some good golf. Again, he's not a consistent player. Like 100%. He's not a consistent player. But when he gets hot, he gets really hot, and he probably is good for a top 5. He's a Vegas guy. Again, narrative, reason to bet somebody. He's very talented. He should have a win. Give me Kirk K. Like, do you vibe with Kirk K this week? First round leader, eye emoji?
I'm out on Kurt, but he did pop in my model. So my model wanted me to be there on Kurt, but I think he's going to find himself in some cacti, which is fine. Like, it's going to happen inevitably. There's going to be a couple holes where he's hitting out of a cactus. If he can survive those, he's in great position. But the way I went with my card this week is just like guys who get like 0 spin on their drive and just hit it dead down the middle of the fairway. So that's what I did this week.
No, I love it. All great plays. Kind of going down. Is Scott, like, I wrote up Scott Piercy. I don't know how I didn't look it up, but I wrote Scott Piercy as my favorite 6K play this week. Is he actually good here?
Vegas guy. Great history. Let me pull it up.
Really? Because, like, he's actually, like, playing decent. Like, he's kind of on, like, a good finish, miscut. But last week, 19 at the Sanderson Farms, game 3 on approach. Like, yeah, I'm down. Yeah.
3 top 10s, 6 top 25s for Scott Piercy in his backyard at TPC Summerlin.
I like Scott Piercy. I like Scott Piercy as a 6K play. Like, I just do. Like, it's something I'm vibing with.
Doesn't have Tony Finau breathing down his neck here, so he's going to be playing loose.
Yeah. Like, any interest in Team Rep this week? I feel like he's kind of out of the spotlight a little bit. Like, I feel like he doesn't have the, like, same pizzazz he had. Like, people were betting him at 40-1. Like, he's 150-1.
Yeah, Morikawa comp, very similar player to Morikawa. Like, you got to ask yourself, would I play Colin Morikawa on this course? If yes, consider Rupp. But I don't. He actually is a pretty interesting Matthew Wolff comp.
Okay,
Matthew Wolff is great here. So if you want to go down that narrative, sure. Can he?
Like, I feel like no, he's a horrible putter. Like, I don't think Rupp can putt it up. Like, I don't think Rupp can pour it in.
He comes at you every now and then.
Like, I feel like he's a truly great ball striker, but, like, I just always envision him missing.
His last 7 events, every other event, he's gained putting. So he's not atrocious.
Are we on, like, a game putting week, or?
Ooh, we're not. He's due to lose. So we paid. Okay. That was good. That was productive.
That's kind of tough. So any other guys that, like, you're eyeing this week that, like, you'll play? Are you playing DFS this week? Like, what are you doing on DraftKings for the swing season? Are you keeping it light, or, like, you do a normal exposure?
I'm a little less in the fall swing because I do more like NFL lineups, but the prizes are, like, way down, right? Like, when I'm looking through the contests I normally do, like, the prizes are in half. So I don't love that. So I won't make that many lineups this week, maybe a handful.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of like, what?
You go first.
Yeah, like, I kind of, like, lost like, all the money I had in DraftKings, so it's, like, kind of tough to play. But, like, we're gonna win it. We're gonna win it back this week. It's fine. Like, it's cool. But yeah, I, like, had a lot of money in DraftKings. I lost it. And I'm just trying to, like, keep it for, like, outrights, because, like, I don't want to deposit. Like, I haven't deposited in mad long, and, like, I'm right close. So, like, I'd rather, like, keep the money in DraftKings, like, for outrights than, like, if, like, just overall, like, if you had $50 and you had to turn it into, like, $2,000 or, like, 1,000, like, what do you think? Do you think it's easier to do that betting outrights or playing DFS?
Outrights.
Yeah. No, I think it's outrights.
I think it is outrights.
Like, you hit, like, generally people hit outrights at a high. People that like bet fucking outrights every week and also play DFS, like they hit outrights at a higher rate than like winning $1,000 on DraftKings.
It's a good question.
Yeah, we'll poll the people like tonight, because I do think it's an interesting question, but I because like in DFS, like you have to like beat a bunch of other people, and like you have to put 6 guys together. And outright betting, you just have to like bet one guy that wins. Um, so something to ponder. That's why we're keeping it low, but like not even a joke. Like I like whatever. I'd like to hit an outright every week. I don't do it for the cloud. I don't do it for the fans. Like I do it to see my hard work pay off. But I would fucking love to hit an outright the next 3 weeks. Like really badly. Like not like I really don't want to have to deposit into DraftKings. Like I'd like to have a bankroll going. But sometimes wanting it doesn't equal getting it. That's something I've learned in life.
Well, hopefully it's Tom Kim for both of us.
Yeah, I'm down. Like I'm down. He's not gonna. I don't think any of them. I don't think any of my outrights are gonna win this week. Like not in like I don't really like every guy I bet outright. I'm like that's probably not gonna happen. But yeah, we need to find the final slot. Like we need to find it, and we'll see. So that's chill. I know the weather's been horrible. You got any golf coming up lately? I haven't played golf in mad long. You are a great golfer, I would say, in my mind. Like
in your mind, which
like,
is all that matters.
Like it's like, oh, is John like? Are you a good golfer or bad golfer? Like Paige Sporanic, like she likes guys that are into golf but like not that good. Me, okay,
right?
Like I would say, like you're good at like you're a single digit handicap. Like you throw darts, like you're a good golfer. Like I'll give you that. Like I don't think like you could beat with Paige. Like from what she posted today. Like I don't.
I missed it. What did she post? I was too busy texting my producer. I didn't catch it.
Yeah, no, she tweeted today. It was on her Insta story. I was watching it, and it was like, "Would you rather date a man who's good at golf, or likes golf but isn't good at it?" And she was like, "Because like I'm so competitive and blah blah. Like I would rather have a man that likes golf but isn't very good at it." And I was like, "We
perfect.
are so in there."
That is a sub tweet, a sub post right after.
like 100%. It's yeah, I love Paige. Like it's not. It's like a joke. Like I love her. Like it's not. It's fine. Like it's cool. But her putting it out there, it was kind of like in middle school, like when I don't know, but like if like you wore something and then like this girl was like, oh, when guys wear X like heart eye emoji, like that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from Paige. So
okay, so you're gonna buy her calendar.
Oh yeah, he's like I'm gonna hang it up like right behind me.
I think
that would be kind of. That would be.
You can show your support for your friends, for your former guests. I would expect you'd have some sort of.
I mean, it's the only guest on TIB to have a calendar.
Right. So yeah, that's true. I don't have one.
So. I would say, yeah, I don't.
I was thinking about it, but
you have
I don't have one yet.
So I mean, that's kind of what we have to consider at the moment.
I did want to bring up, since you asked, I played in a golf outing this past weekend. It was a scramble. Our group won. We won $50 Golf Galaxy gift cards, each of us.
Okay.
And I wanted to poll you, our listeners in the chat. How would you use a 50? Where are you going first as you scroll through Golf Galaxy to spend a $50 gift card? Understanding it's on the context of I won this in a scramble, because I'm on the fence of two different things. There's two different ways I can go with this. I want to get your initial thoughts, and then I'll let you know kind of where I'm leaning right now.
I would buy Pro V1s. I would buy golf balls, because golf balls are it's a sunk cost, economics lesson for people. Like, you're just like, the money's gone. Like, you paid for the golf balls, you're going to lose them. Like, there's never a not time where you're not going to need golf balls. So I would treat myself to some nice golf balls if I had a $50 gift card to Golf Galaxy. What are you thinking?
Okay, so we've got answers in the chat of Christmas present for someone else. That's
Okay,
very
get out of here with
wholesome.
that. Yeah.
Pro V's. So a line there. My first thought was Pro V's.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why I'm now on the fence about it. I think when I win something, I want a trophy. I want something to commemorate the win, something that I can tangibly look at and be like, I have this as a reminder that I won that thing.
Yeah.
And if I get golf balls, which is what I should do with a $50 gift card because I'm going to need them. I lose balls more than anybody. I need golf balls, but I'm going to lose them. And then I have no record of what I won. So then I was thinking like, get like a crazy shirt.
Yeah. But like anything else is going to be over 50 bucks.
I could get a $50 shirt, but it could be something so obnoxious that every time somebody saw me, they'd be like, where'd you get that shirt? And if it's, I would always wear it around the guys that I beat in the scramble.
So did you,
I
how
bought
much,
this
like,
with that money that I
again,
won.
we've talked about it. Like, did you dominate the scramble?
This was I would say all of my partners contributed above expectations, and I probably contributed equal to or less than my expectations.
Because
I had the driver on a string. I could have been much better on approach. I hit a few. I was the anchor putter. I hit a few ones that we needed when it was down to me. And I hit some just some disasters around the green. But what's cool is the guy that one of the guys we were playing with had a GoPro and he documented the every shot of the entire round.
Content coming out?
Potentially. I don't know how he's editing
I mean, they must
where
have
he's
used
putting
your
it.
drives a lot.
Yes, but it was one of those. I don't know if you've ever done it this way. You have to use at least 2 tee shots from everybody in the group, which really, like, there's a few times where I hit.
That's fun.
It definitely prevents, like, there was a scratch guy on another guy's team and they could only use 14 shots.
So like 2 drives and 2 approach shots, or approach shots anyone could hit?
Anyone can do the approach shots, but you have to use at least 2 drives.
So like if like the worst person in your group hits one like 250 down the pipe, like we're using that.
Yeah, a few times where I hit some seeds out there and we had to walk it back to use the other guys, but that's teamwork. And you want to build, you want a positive affirmation with the boys, make them feel good, get the confidence up. We use a pretty equal amount of shots, I would say, definitely around the greens.
Yeah. No, that's great. Like I, kind of had you pegged as like an OTT guy, but some of those shots you hit in LP, like, just really stuck out to me. Like just throwing darts, like just truly just flagging the pin, and it was great to watch. And like you will, like, it's like if you're like watching a random PGA Tour event and like you see a guy hit a bunch of good shots and you're like he's a good putter, and like there might not be like any statistical bearing on that, but like you saw it with your own eyes, like you're just like a great approach player. Like great wedge player, like 100 yards out, full 56. Like it's inside 8 feet. Like that's just how you play.
I'm a huge prox 125 to 150 range guy. Like if you put a 9-iron in my hand, I feel great about it. And it just so happened in our match, a lot of the par 3s were in that range. When we had the match on the line on 16, I had 9-iron in hand. I was feeling great about it. We had a little TIB for the W. Like if you give me my wedges / short irons, I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah,
anything else,
no other amateur golfer feels that way. Like literally, like no one else is like, yo, like I'd rather have a wedge than like a 6-iron. Straight up, like no, what? That's not like that's very unique of you. in my
Yeah.
opinion. Because but yeah, it's been raining and like I haven't played golf, but I think I'm gonna get out this weekend. But unfortunately, like the golf season's like kind of over. Um like I played the bulk of my golf. I am going out to LA to visit Andy in 2 weeks. So we'll get some golf out there. But again, it's not Beth Page. So like the odds of me like breaking 90 or like going super low, I'm not in my element. But that will kind of be the last hurrah for the golf season. I know again, DMs have been flooded with people asking about everything, but I'm happy with the golf season. I think a lot of results like from like 88 to 92, like right in my wheelhouse. And I think next year is really where I break through. Next year is where all the work I put in and all the data that I've been looking at and been paying for, really comes into fruition. So it was a good golf season, and I'm upset it's over. And you're gonna have to come to Long Island to hang out with Kevin and I because we've been hanging. I know it would be super convenient for you to come from Jersey City to Massapequa.
Hey, Long Island is my true home.
Yeah, true
I'll be,
home.
I'm there all the time. And fall Bethpage is just wonderful. So don't count the season over
No,
just yet. We've plenty of golf to be played yet. And Kevin actually, it was his group of friends that we did the scramble with.
Yeah.
So Kevin and I just played on Sunday.
Someone asked who would win in a match, BK or Brostrom. I would beat him. Beat him. I'm
I think
a better
you would.
golfer than him. I've broken 90. Like I shoot, like low 90s like normally. So just clarify that. I will beat Barstool Trent. I'm in a match. So I just, we do a lot of questions on TIB. But really appreciate you coming on, John. I hope to see you again. It's just been so long since LP. And again, golf season's, kind of winding down. But I look forward to celebrating you hitting it out. I think we're going to hit I have a feeling you're going to hit a first round leader this week. And I'm looking forward to your first round leader card. And there'll be some shared plays there.
Yes. You totally reminded me about Neesmith because I had a little mental note. First round leader, Scottsdale, good fit, good form, good history. Didn't get him on the outright card. Like all the reasons that I always put somebody on a first round leader, and I forgot to. So I'm so happy that we talked about that.
Do you have your other first round leaders done?
I do, but I didn't bet them yet. So I wrote them down, but I didn't bet them. So I'm
who do you have? Who are the early leans?
The other thing that I do is I do not ever look at tee times, and it's worked out for me. So I'm not going to stop doing that.
Yeah.
But I bet Andrew Putnam, and he is the first guy out, as it turns out, coincidentally. So I now feel good about that.
Okay.
Like great course history, good
Pebble
putter.
Beach, wedges.
Pebble Beach. So I'm gonna have to remove one of these guys, but the guys I was gonna bet were Putnam, Spawn, Svensson, Todd, and Harry Hall. I don't know. I have to remove one of those guys and get.
Wait, who was it again? Sorry.
Putnam, JJ Spawn,
JJ
Adam
Spawn
Svensson.
out.
Oh, I feel good about JJ Spawn.
Well, how the fuck? Like how the
unofficial
fuck
card? Well, unofficial card.
How is JJ Spawn? How is JJ Spawn going to be first round leader?
He's a first round leader guy. Early
when
popper.
Has he ever been first round leader?
He definitely has been first round leader before.
That checks out.
Definitely. Like I keep note of this stuff. And when Munoz is not playing, it's JJ Spawn and it's Adam Svensson on my first round leader cards pretty much anytime I have the chance to. So they're gonna be on there. I think I'll just also bet Neesmith. I'll be a little hashtag overexposed on first round leader, and we'll just make it back in the NFL season.
Yeah, I feel really good about Neesmith first round leader.
I do too.
Like I do think it's a lock. I don't feel great about a lot of my plays this week. But yeah, I think Neesmith first round leader is a play. It would be very fitting if we hit a first round leader together. I'm gonna put a little bit more on it, not a little 10 buckaroo. Like I feel into my plums. This is like a Russell Henley first round leader that never hits. But I appreciate everyone who checked out the pod tonight. We'll be back next week for the Zozo. Little midnight golf, little up late drinking, turn the golf on, see what's going on. Fleetwood, Xander. That's all I know who's playing. It will probably suck. So let's enjoy this week. And I'm just happy that Live Bangkok hasn't taken over. Because like Live Bangkok easily could have overshadowed this event. And again, it's the end of the pod. I'll say what I feel like there's negative buzz about Live Bangkok.
Well, it's about growing the game, Brian.
Yeah.
It's not about us American golf fans anymore. We need to let the Bangkok faithful in Thailand need something to watch. So you get out of your little Twitter bubble and understand that golf is a global game.
It's valid point. I appreciate
Bangkok is buzzing about this, and the media won't tell you that, but Bangkok is absolutely buzzing about this event.
But yeah, shout out Live Bangkok. I don't know who's gonna win, but I hope it's one of the favorites. So everyone have a great night, and we'll see you next week.